kick in a side view and build out the bum, the butt, the derriere, gluteus maximus, okay? Let's select this and extrude down and back like that, and maybe rotate that a little bit. We don't want to go too far out, but we do want to create some shapes here. All right, so this is essentially the line that differentiates between the space of your bum and your leg. Okay, and then we can extrude again, like that, and then shift-click this edge, and hit F to create a face between the two. Okay, so we want to create a little bit more geometry than we have. Okay, and we can do that by, we can select this right here, 1, 2, 3, and then hit face, and that connects a quad right there, and then we have a quad right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, face, it quads. Okay. It's pretty jagged, so if we want, we can add more geometry just by creating a loop cut. There we go, we got some more geometry, and now we have some points on our bum with which to shape. Okay, so we can grab that and bring it out. I want to make sure that again, you really kind of want to make sure that the pelvic bowl is high enough. Let's see how this looks from behind with Control 1, Control numpad 1. We can grab this like that, just to kind of widen that out. Not a bad glute, y'all. If we Alt select this edge loop, and then we want to right click loop tools and maybe just relax it the tiniest bit, it just makes our geometry a little gentler. Okay, and we want it here. So now we've made our pelvic bowl, we've made our gluteus maximus, our derriere, side view, front view, and now with our pelvic bowl loop selected, let's extrude about there. And this is oblong and no fun. This is not fun. So we need to level this out, and you can do that with scale Z0. That's probably, honestly, that if you learn nothing else from this particular video, that one little hotkey is going to be the thing that you use again and again in your modeling. Let's add another loop cut and bring this up a little bit, just so we have some geometry to pull out. Let's pull out this side of the leg. We can turn proportionality back on. Okay, that looks good. And now, let's build out our leg. So let's just grab on the Z and bring it down to the ankle. Okay, like that, and we can click, we kick into front view. Okay, great. Now we obviously want to scale this in until it's exactly at the ankle. We'll call this the ankle. Kick in the side view. Okay, and then grab it, move it back on the Y, and then scale on the Y as well. So let's kick into front view, and then right where our kneecap is, we want to add a loop cut. Okay, and then if we add it here, you can see it's obviously still kind of crazy. We want to scale this on the Z at 0. Let's add a couple more loop cuts up here. We'll give it 2. And then let's add a couple more loop cuts down here. We'll give them 2. Let's add a loop cut right above the knee. And then a loop cut right below the knee. That's just so we have some, here, let's shift alt click, shift alt click. And then scale these on the Z. So we'll come here and I'll scale this on the X. Like that. Kick it a side view. Nice. Maybe bring this back a little bit. Oh, here, I'll turn proportion, let it on. Bring that back a little bit. Right. Grab this out. Okay. We'll grab this in and use, as long as you use proportional editing, you know, you should, in theory, be okay. And we'll call that click. Okay. Everybody save your work. This is our kneecap. So let's take these, and then we'll scale this in on the X a little bit, and scale it on the Z. Okay, let's make a foot. Extrude down, extrude down, extrude on the Y. Rotate on the Z. Right, this will be our big toe, this will be our little toe. Grab this up here, bring it down to the Z. Move your foot back to the Y. Get a loop cut. Grab that on the X, rotate it on the Z, and now we've got another toe. And then we can do the same thing for the baby toe. Several more loop cuts. On both sides. Let's widen this out a little bit. And do another loop cut. About here. And grab this back. And maybe another loop cut down here. Extrude along the normals. There we go. Rotate that. Maybe scale that in. And then we'll do the same here. 1, 2, and make sure we got extrude along normals. Here. Extrude, bring it out. That's 7. And let's add a couple of loop cuts right in the middle. Okay, another one. Let's extrude, grab it along the Y. Extrude along those. Scale that down. Rotate, and then add couple of loop cuts, and then repeat the process. Raise that a fifth and final time. Okay, these are ready for some claws. first let's build out the armor. Everybody save your work. All right, before we move forward, everybody saves your work. Perfect. I'm going to jump into turn X-ray mode on. And then with vertex selected, I'm going to Alt select and extrude down. Okay, and take it to about the wrist. And scale that in like so. Okay. And maybe we can null that out. So let's scale the Z at 0. Grab these up on the Y. Do something like that. Let's get our elbows. And then I'm going to add another one and another one. Grab these up. We can grab these down. Let's build out the hand. Okay. And people freak out about the hands, so we're going to alt-click here, and let's extrude down to make our wrist joint there, and then extrude down again to make the palm of our hand. All right, I'm going to jump into side view. Let's scale this on the Y. Scale it on the X to make it, these are paws, right? We got some paws happening. Let's grab these, we'll bring this over, and then grab these, we'll bring this, we'll go right there, and yeah, so it's essentially nowhere to be found in the reference, which is, it is what it is, y'all. We're just going to deal with it, okay? So there's a big, meaty paw. Okay, to make sure that we have enough quads, I'm going to, let's get a loop cut here. And maybe another one here. Let's get some faces going. There's a quad. 1, 2, face makes a quad. 2, face makes a quad. 2, and face makes a quad. There we go. You know, I think his elbow's a little too low, to be honest with you. If it was if the bicep extends here, then his elbow would be further up. So let's grab that and move that up. Okay, so we're building out our hand. I'm going to get this ready to extrude some fingers. And so if we hit 7, we go into top view. If we hit Control 7, we go into bottom view. And let's just align this up. So let's select these two and rotate it to about there. And then select these two and rotate it to about there. Do you see what I'm doing? These two and rotate it about there. These two and rotate it to about there. We can scale these in as well. And then, okay, now let's bevel. And we're going to create the webbing in between your fingers. So if you look at your fingers right now, you're going to see some webbing, and you have this in between your toes as well. My grandmother actually had webbed feet. And click bevel. Or you could also just hit Control B if you like shortcuts. And who doesn't, you know? So we're going to pull this out a little bit to create some webbing, but don't just leave it alone. I want 2 segments. And you see it adds some more geometry in there, okay? Same thing here. Just pull it a tiny little bit. We're going to create some webbing. And then same thing. Segments, I want 2 segments. Same thing here. Okay, we're going to create some web. Just a segment and then 2 segments. So it's 1 by default, but we want 2. One thing we got to talk about before we go any further is that in creating that webbing, what we've done inadvertently is we've created triangles. And we don't like triangles, we like quads. We've talked about this before. So with edge selected, we're going to select 1, select 2, select 3, select 4, select 5, and select 6. We're going to right click, dissolve edges, and just like that, now we have quads again. And if you come up into vertex, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's our quads. We are preserving the quad structure. Okay, what we want to do, we want to add a little bit more geometry to our mesh. We're going to do that with the knife tool. You can also hit K. And we're going to, from the triangles that we just created, let's work all the way around our model. So I'm clicking here, and then I'm dragging, and then clicking, and then rotating with my middle mouse. Click, click. Here, and then 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 right back here, and lock it in with that. Okay, let's extrude out our fingers. So with face selected, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Kicking a side view, and then let's just extrude down, and here we go. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to detach my wrist from my hand. Let's delete these faces. So now we have a separation between our wrist and our hand. So by the time we funnel our geometry into the wrist, it needs to be properly formatted such that it naturally and seamlessly fits in with the rest of the body. So that's why we're going to separate that right there. Let's add some loop cuts on each one of our fingers, okay? And if you hit a loop cut and then you accidentally move, just escape out of it and it'll make sure that's center. Okay, and loop cut, we want to go 1, 2, 3, and merge these at the center. You can do that with shortcut M for merge, okay? And that filters down into there, and then we want to do the same thing with these two. We want to go 1, 2, 3, and merge M at the center. Okay, and now that we've done that, we can come in here. You see we've created triangles. So now let's come in with edge selected. We can go 1, shift click 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right click, dissolve edges, and now we have quads again. And let's do the back side of these as well. So 1, 2, 3, merge at center. Here, 1, 2, 3, merge at center. Nice. Okay, same thing. Let's make sure that we dissolve our 1, 2, 3. And this should be 4, 5, 6. Right click, dissolve edges, and there we go. So now we got quads on both sides. Okay, so that is how we funnel additional geometry into our existing edge flow. So now let's connect this with face. Now let's 1, 2, and connect that with the face, and then let's go face, 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 face. Okay, before we move forward, I'm going to grab this edge loop and just pull this down, right? We'll smooth this out later, but this, we want these to be closer to our knuckle joints than our wrist. And then we can add some more geometry here, just when we scale this out, right? Because it is a monster's paw, y'all. So if the hand is there, then let's put the thumb. Let's go with face selected. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's hit I to inset that a little bit. And then you can grab, we want to turn proportionality off, and then we can grab it and pull it out a little bit. Okay, here, what I'm going to do, probably should have done this a while ago. I'm going to just just going to hit P, make a selection like that, and then we're going to hide the head like that. So now we can work on this without worrying about the body. So we're going to come and hit this, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then hit enter. Okay, and now we also need to go 1 here and lock that in. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this one, and this one, and this one. And we're going to dissolve edges. And there we go. I think it's time for some fingers. So let's come down here, and with face select selected, let's select all our faces. So we should select all 16. Loop tools, circle. Yep. Holy moly, okay. That's obviously an issue, so let's scale each one of them down individually. Okay, we can scale like that. And then we can move it out like that. And then we can scale like that. And we can scale it down like that. Right? So then let's come here. And we scale in the ring finger. And then we can come in here and scale down the pinky. Maybe bring that pinky in. Okay? So come down here and with edge select. Selected. I want to select this whole thing. And I think we have. Right click, loop tools, circle. Okay, and we can scale that down like that. Same thing over here. Let's try. If you can alt click, high five. Same thing. Loop tools, circle. Okay. Let's pop out, and then we're going to need to scale that down. And we can. Okay. And then same thing in here. Let's go 1, 2, and then last one. So let's go alt click, and then same thing. We'll go loop tools, circle, scale it down. Okay, nice. And then if you want to jump into sculpt mode, you can use the snake hook tool. You can grab that out, right? If you want to push this in, go ahead, right? This is kind of where you can very easily, you're at the point now where you can make things look the way you know they need to look. Let's get some knuckles going. Every primate hand, finger, has 2 knuckles, with the exception of the thumb, which is not a finger, it's a joint extension or a digit. So let's add 2 loop cuts. 2 loop cuts. There. We'll move these momentarily because they're not always the same. Well, they're never the same length. And then same thing for the middle finger. Let's put this down on the Z. And grab that down. Like that. Okay, and then in between, where we're going to have our knuckles, we're going to want some more geometry. So, let's escape out of that. So we're going to put 3 edge loops in between our knuckles. Okay, and this will be able to give our fingers form for all the times that it moves. And the reason we're doing this second is because we wanted our knuckles to be in place, and then this additional geometry naturally centers itself in between whatever existing geometry that you have. Alright, so what we're going to do is, with our edge selected, we're going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the knuckles on our pointer. These are the knuckles on our middle finger. These are the knuckles on our ring finger. And these are the knuckles on our pinky, our little pinky. Okay? So now we want to bevel these, okay? You can go Control B, or you can come over here and, okay, we're gonna bevel that like that, and then same as last time, we want 2 segments, okay? Now, these are obviously this is the extra geometry that we're gonna need for knuckle folding, but what have we done, okay? We've created a boatload of triangles. Here's a bunch of triangles. And we created an end gun. So if I come over here to vertex, you're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is an end gun. Remember we talked about quads are polygon. The quads are the only polygons we want. Anything more than 4 is an end gun. So we need to get rid of all this. So I'm going to click that. 1, 2, merge at last, okay? And it pulls it all the way down. And I'm just going to go around and do that for all of them. It's a bit of a, it's a time process, but you know, it's the right play to maintain proper geometry. Merge at last. And if you click the bottom one first, then you would, if you click this one first, then you could do merge at first, and it pulls it down. Okay? Either one, but go all the way around, and this is what we're taking care of right now. I got one side, and then now let's do the other side. Okay, so we'll go here, merge at last, 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 here, shift click, merge at last. We're getting some repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill, y'all. Merge at last and merge at last. Okay, that takes care of the end guns, but we also have some triangles up here. Okay, so now we're gonna have edge select, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, that's not it. Here we go. And then flip around and go 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right click, dissolve edges. And just like that, we have quads. Now, let's add some more geometry. We're going to add a loop cut above and a loop cut below every knuckle joint. Okay, loop cut above and a loop cut below. Nope, didn't need to do that. And a loop cut below every knuckle joint. Okay, just to add a little bit more geometry around our joints to be able to move our hands properly when called upon. Okay. And all I'm doing is Control R, Control R, Control R, Control R, Control R, and Control R. Now with that, one thing we can do, create the indentations in the bottom of our hand that everyone has in the bottom of their hand. It's really kind of remarkable, okay? And we can do that with just by selecting both of them, and then you can come into assign. And if you want to move these in, you can grab these on the X move them in like that. And now you're creating the natural divots of the fingers, that every hand, every primate hand has these grooves. Grab these, go in on the X, like that. We can drop it on the Z as well. And same thing here. We'll go this one, these two, and this one. Grab it, go in on the Z, or excuse me, go in on the X, and then drop on the Z. And then we'll go same thing here, and same thing here. We'll go grab it in on the Z. Let's grab and bring each finger up a little bit. Okay, we'll grab these. We'll grab on the Z and bring it up. And then we'll grab these, grab on the Z and bring it up. And then we'll grab these, grab on the Z and bring it up. Okay? And now we're creating some tips, some fingertips. Okay, now let's bring our mirror back. Let's take care of some geometry. So we want to create a nice wrist flexion. Okay? So let's get our knife tool again and come here in edit mode. And we'll go to vertex mode. We'll click this one. We'll go here, 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 and we'll come in and click that, and then we'll come out like this. Here, 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 and here. We'll click that, we'll lock that in. Okay? We also want to come here and grab that. We'll lock that in. Now we want to come and go. We want to select this and select this and this and this. And we want to dissolve those edges. Okay. And then we want to do the same over here. So we come back to knife mode. And see our vertices, vertexes. We'll come here, 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 and we'll enter that in, and then we'll also go here, enter that in, and then we'll do same thing we did last time. We want to dissolve our edges, and there we go. Everybody save your work, and then we'll jump into the thumb. Face select the thumb, and pull that out a little bit. Front view, bring this down, rotate that around, and then the tools, make it a circle. Extrude again. Extrude again. Add a couple of loop cuts. And save your work. Okay, and now just like these knuckles, we're going to bevel to make some geometry for the extra skin fold at the joints. Go Control B, bevel that in. Good, and again we go to 2 seconds. Okay, and like last time, we need to clean up the end-ons. So let's trigger adaptive recall and merge with M. Merge at last, merge at last, merge at last. And then we need to dissolve, triangle, 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 right click, dissolve edges, and there we go. Okay, now let's connect the hand with the body. So we'll turn the body back on, and we will select hand, shift click body, Control J to join them, and now they're one object. In case there are any duplicate vertices, A to select all, M to merge vertices by distance, removed 11 vertices.